Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Peggle. Whoa, whoa. Already with that? You know what? No. Start over. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Peggle. So, once again, we're trying to beat the computer. So, for this video, over the course of 3 levels, we have to beat the computer's cumulative score. If we win, we get a medal. If we lose, we get nothing. Good day, sir. So, guess who's sick again? This guy. So, somehow, I got 2 colds back to back. Now, surprisingly, this is not the first time this has happened. It's happened to me a couple times before. But just pour salt in the wound. I was finally starting to get better. I was still coughing here and there, but I was finally starting to feel good, and then bam, sick again. You know, the snot faucet's going, I'm coughing more. I'm doing kind of better. This really started yesterday, but I'm still kind of bleh. So how are all of you guys doing today? You guys doing good? I hope so. I hope you guys are happy. I hope you guys are healthy. And I hope that there's good vibes all around. The New Year's coming up. So that's something to look forward to. It's always a good feeling when the year changes. We get that sweet, sweet January. Now, January seems to be the slowest month of the year for most businesses. Because the shopping season's over. And, you know, the weather sucks. Not many people are out, so my hours are probably going to be affected. Hopefully not too much, though. We'll have to wait and see. So, on Christmas Eve, I officially went to the best Christmas party ever. So, let's just dive right in. So, my boss, Mr. Cheez-It, he hosted the party at his house. Now, the reason we did that is because for years, literally years, we would have the Christmas party at Burrito Horn. On Christmas Eve, we close early. We close at 7 o'clock. And Mr. Cheez-It and Mimosa, GM and AGM respectively, Extreme Baby! So every year, they co-fund the Christmas party as like a reward for all the employees for doing a good job. And it's all in good fun. We'll have a few activities, we'll hang out for a bit, and then we leave. Well, this year, they ripped our hearts out. The higher-ups did not want us having a Christmas party because we bring +1s. And they were worried about, you know, what if somebody that's not an employee goes in the back and hurts themselves? We're liable. But then we later found out they okayed another location's Christmas party, but not ours. So maybe they made the most sales, maybe they like them, like, I don't know what's up with that. But what's done is done. So we were trying to think, like, maybe we can rent somewhere, maybe like a hotel lobby, or we can host somewhere else. And when it was all said and done, we ended up hosting at Mr. Cheez-It's house. So we're like, okay, bet. So the party started at 9 p.m. I pulled up at about 8:20, 8:30, and him and his wife, we'll call her Mrs. Cheez-It, they have like a log cabin. So I walk up, and it's this cool-looking, beautiful log cabin. Everything's wood. And I walk up to the porch, walk up to the door, and I knock on it. There's no answer. And I can see some people have already arrived. I'm kind of looking through the window, like, maybe they didn't hear me knock. There was no doorbell. At least not that I saw. So I'm just standing there like an idiot. And then to my left, I hear, hello? There's Mr. Cheez-It, like, come on in. So we go through the garage, then we go inside. And there's a couple people already there. And the whole place had a very cozy feel to it. A lot of the classic wood paneling. I felt like I was on my own little vacation. Snowed in, middle of the woods. Got the fireplace going. It was that kind of feel. That kind of aesthetic. So I get inside, and we start watching Hell's Kitchen. The reboot, not the original. So Kitchen Nightmares is the one where Gordon Ramsay goes to people's restaurants. Hell's Kitchen is when you're in his kitchen, and you're getting screamed at. You know, that's the, where's the lamb sauce? That's where that comes from. So apparently I didn't know this. I don't know if I would even call it a reboot, because he's still in it. But there's new seasons of it. So anyway, we're watching the show. And one of the chefs, his backstory, he got married at a Taco Bell. And it showed the bouquet. And the flower bouquet had mild sauce packets in the flowers. We're like, there is no way. And then later, there was a man, I think his name was Egypt. Egypt was one of the chefs. And Mr. Cheez-It was like, oh, yep, that's me. That's me when I'm at work. We all start laughing. And then slowly more people start coming. So then somebody else comes, and Mr. Cheez-It's got one of those Ring doorbell cameras. So in the corner of the TV, it pops up. It's in black and white, but we can still see it. She did the exact same thing that I did. Went to the wrong door. Starts looking around. We all start laughing. And he does the exact same thing. Goes to the door. He goes, hello? So we keep watching the show. And the way I'm sitting, I have my leg, like, kicked up over the other leg. Like I'm kind of half crossed. Now, I own 2 pairs of shoes. I own shoes for work, the non-slip work Crocs, and I own a pair of Vans for the streets. I'm in my Vans right now. And Mr. Cheez-It looks over at me, looks over at my feet, and he goes, those shoes! And then he just gets up and leaves. We're like, what? And then about 30 seconds later, he comes back with his own pair of Vans. He's like, I know a man of culture when I see one. So yeah, we're both Vans people. I like the black and white of the van. Black and white's always a good combo to have in clothing. Shirt, pants, shoes, whatever. Black and white is always a safe bet. So then, now we had a gift exchange planned, but some people brought other people gifts directly, and one of my coworkers gets me a gift. Now, later today, when I do the community post, I'll show a picture of it, but she got me, like, Plants vs. Zombies figurines. There's some assembly required, but there's a ton of different plants, there's a couple zombies in there. And I was not expecting to get a gift at all, so that was really cool. Like, oh, thank you very much, coworker. So then a couple days later, I ended up getting her a thank you card. Because that was a very nice Christmas surprise right there. And everybody else got gifts. It's a book series called Smut. Now, a lot of the female workers at my burrito horn, they're into romance novels. Particularly the spicy ones. You probably know the ones I'm talking about. You basically take an adult film and you turn it into a book. That's what these books are. And apparently this book series has its own little system. The darker shade of red the cover of the book is, the more intense it is. If you don't know what I'm talking about, it's those ones like, I looked into her sexy green eyes, and she lowered her chest onto my face. And I said, yes, yes, like, that's what that is. That's what those books are. So we're all just passing around these books, reading this, you know, PORN, basically. And it gets to me, and Mr. Cheese is like, okay, here, read these 2 pages. And I was gonna read it out loud, and he's like, honestly, no, just don't read it out loud. And I'll say, those are the spiciest 2 pages I've ever read. The Ghost Pepper's got nothing on these books, I'm telling you. We always gotta stop for the fever. Not bad, I'll take it. You always gotta stop to appreciate the fever. It's Peggle law. So anyway, we're all just reading this adult romance novels, all just laughing our asses off. So we get done with that, and then the first thing we did was a gingerbread baking contest. Or, did I say baking? No. It was a gingerbread decorating contest. So Mimosa bought like 12 gingerbread, and we had to assemble it and then decorate it. And it was teams of 2, and the winner would get some Visa gift cards. So it was me and this other coworker. We're gonna call him the Donut Lord. Yes, that is a reference to Sonic. I have not seen the 3rd movie yet, but I want to. So me and the Donut Lord, we start making this gingerbread house, and my idea was like, hey, let's recreate our place of work. Now, we microwaved the frosting for a little bit so it wouldn't be as thick, but I think we microwaved it too long, because this stuff would just not hold anything together. We were holding pieces there for about 5 minutes, and it just would not stay for the longest time. So finally, after fiddling with it for a couple of minutes, we get like a house built. And we used way too much frosting. It looked like there was a blizzard, like right dead center in the house. It's like God was like, you know what? This house, this one house, just put the whole blizzard on that property. Now we tried to get creative. We broke a candy cane in half, and we had 2 chimneys coming out of the roof. And then we sprinkled some sprinkles on it. I'm really kicking myself right now. I wish I would have taken a picture of this thing, because this thing, it looked like it wanted to be put out of its misery. Like, just to be kind, you would want to give it the cuckoo's nest treatment. It looked like a crack house. Wait. Can I say that on YouTube? Well, it's out there now. But this place just looked so depressing and decrepit. And me and Donut Lord look at each other and we're like, what the hell have we created? We're not going to win. So finally, you know, we got 45 minutes and that ran out. And Meximel and Mr. Cheez-It were the judges. Now somehow we did not get last. We got second to last. So there's that. And there was one, they used like these big green gummies as inflatables, like inflatable decorations for the lawn of their gingerbread house. And apparently they made Shaq. They made Shaq out of gummies. And they made a joke like, oh yeah, that's Shaq's weed farm. So yeah, that's what they made. So Mimosa and Mrs. Cheez-It, that team ended up winning. Now it turns out Mr. Cheez-It's got 3 cats. Olivia, or Liv for short, Sabrina, and Bella. Olivia and Sabrina are very young, only about a year old, year and a half old. And they were the cutest things ever. Every 5 minutes, they would make their way around to everybody wanting to be petted. And Sabrina, liked pats. Now, some cats really like pats. Like, you think you're hurting them, but they like it. You'll be tenderizing them like a piece of steak, like, and they're just purring away. And me and my other coworker were patting this cat. Like, she is really into this. We're playing her like a drum, and she's just purring all the way. Now, one funny thing I like to do with cats, because sometimes they can purr really loud. You put your ear up against the cat for a few seconds, and then you take it away, and then you put it back. So when I put my ear up against Sabrina, it sounded like a motorcycle. And then I take my head away, and you can barely hear it. It's very soft. And then you put your ear back to the cat, and it's like a Formula 1 race. Now, the third cat, Bella, she's about 6-7 years old. And she likes people, but she's scared of everything else, including the other cats. And Mrs. Cheez-It brings her into the room, and she's like hanging onto her shoulder. Like, hey everybody, this is our third cat, Bella, but you probably won't see her very often though. And I swear, this cat turned to look at me, and she gave me the dirtiest look that I've ever got from a cat, and like held on it for a few seconds. Gave me the stink eye, and then turned back to Mrs. Cheez-It. So then after that, we ordered Domino's. Now thankfully the Noid did not show up, so we didn't have to worry about that. We're all just on the floor eating this Domino's. You know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of back in like 2009, 2012, when you have a sleepover with your homies and you order pizza. All we were missing was Call of Duty. That's all we were missing. And Doritos. We did not have any Doritos, and we did not have any Mountain Dew. We actually, scratch that. We did have Doritos, but I was the only one that brought Mountain Dew. No one else had it. But you know what we did have? We had the Nectar of the Gods. We had Dr. Pepper. Now, apparently Dr. Pepper is very popular amongst women. So Mr. Cheez-It makes the announcement like, oh, hey, we got Dr. Pepper in the fridge. And Mimosa just shoots up and she goes, DP? Oh, hell yeah. And everyone's like, oh, yeah, Dr. Pepper. Now, I'm not going to lie. Dr. Pepper is pretty good. It's pretty busted. You drink one can of that, you're going to end up drinking 3 of those things. So we're eating our Domino's, drinking our Dr. Pepper, and a story comes up. So Meximel had a falling out with one of her friends, and you're about to find out why. So Meximel's friend, we're going to call her Brenda. So Brenda is one of those people, she cannot hold her liquor, but she swears that she can. And every time her and Meximel would hang out together, she would ask for some alcohol, and she would ask for a lot of it. And Meximel's like, just please don't throw up on my stuff. Please handle yourself. She's like, don't worry, I can handle myself, I swear. Well, spoiler alert, she couldn't handle herself. Threw up on her couch, threw up on her floor, threw up on her, I think. Multiple times in a row, like, every single time. I want beer. You're gonna handle yourself? Yes. Blech! Like, every time, almost every time they would hang out, that's what would happen. And then one day, pretty recently, Brenda was in Meximel's bed, taking a nap, sleeping off, I don't know if she was drunk or if it was a hangover, but she was sleeping over, and she peed the bed. Full-blown peed it. But the thing was, she didn't tell Meximel for like 3 hours. So after she peed the bed, she woke up, and just didn't say anything. And they continued to hang out. She was sitting, they went somewhere, and she was sitting in the passenger seat. And finally, after about 3 hours, oh, by the way, when she told her, they were already, like, apart, like, she had already gone home. She called Meximel and was like, hey, I'm really sorry. I spilled water in your bed. And she tried to claim that she spilled water. So Meximel goes up to her room, and there's just a big yellow stain on the bed. And she's like, no, that's pee. You peed the bed. And she says, hey, listen. Do not come to my house ever again. And now they're no longer friends. It's going. It's going. It's going. And still going. Just like that, that ball is gone. So, then we did a gift exchange, specifically a white elephant. So, what a white elephant is, you each bring a gift, but you don't say who it's from. So you don't know who brought what. And everybody gets a random gift. You go around, everybody picks a gift, and they open it. So the first time around is passing out gifts. The second time around is opening gifts. And the third time around, or subsequent times, what you can do, you can either choose to keep your gift, you can trade gifts with somebody, or you can just straight up steal somebody's gift and pull a full-blown Grinch. And each gift can only be stolen up to 2 times. And then once it's stolen twice, that person permanently owns it. And Mimosa got this gas card. She's like, oh yeah, gas! And then someone stole it, and she's like, you B-word. So we end up going around a few times, and eventually everything gets stolen, everything gets passed around, and that ends the white elephant. Now, fun fact, the reason why it's called White Elephant is the gift exchange itself is the act of exchanging, like, not unnecessary gifts, but, like, very trivial gifts. Because a lot of white elephants have a limit, like, nothing more valuable than $50. And way back in the day, you know, rich kings, if they had subjects that they didn't like, they would gift them literally a white elephant as a gift, but then they would have to pay for the upkeep. Like, you gotta clean up the poop, you gotta pay for the baths, you gotta pay to take care of the elephant. So it's like giving someone a Lamborghini as a gift, but then they have to pay for maintenance, tax, insurance. So it's kind of like a backhanded gift, like, oh, you don't like me? Oh, here's a gift. You gotta pay for that, sucker. So that's basically why that is how it is. So after we did all the activities, the party ended, but it didn't really end, just kind of kept going. We kept hanging out. A few people left, but most of us stayed. So we migrate over to the next room, and Mr. Cheez-It is showing us his Fortnite collection. And someone starts making fun of him, like, oh, that's some virgin stuff right there. Like, I don't know why that's accurate, but okay. So anyway, he's going through the Fortnite collection. He's got Peter Griffin, he's got The Weeknd. Like, pretty much almost every skin that you can think of, he had it. So I think he's been playing for a long time. Alright. Now, I don't remember. I'm going to have to look it up. Who is the lead singer of Metallica?
James Hetfield sings in Metallica.
So his favorite skin was James Hetfield. Now, apparently, Fortnite has this, like, minigame that's like Guitar Hero. So, imagine James Hetfield singing the Mariah Carey Christmas song, or him singing a Weeknd song. It was the goofiest, funniest thing ever. It was weird hearing that man sing something that wasn't, like, heavy metal. And Mr. Cheez-It, or maybe it was his wife, ended up buying something. It was a add-on, like an accessory. It was a Skibidi toilet backpack. So on top of James just singing songs that he wouldn't normally sing, every once in a while he would turn around and you would just see this Skibidi toilet on his back. Let me just tell you, we are truly living in the future. And also, Meximel brought a +1. She brought one of her friends. And she comes up to me and she goes, "Oh, I've heard so much about you. I've heard you're very cool." I was kind of flattered, like, "Oh yeah, I am pretty cool." Well, I guess $5 grand ain't bad. So yeah, I met someone new that night. Now, we ended up staying until about 1 in the morning. I remember at one point, Mr. Cheez-It looked at the time and was like, "Holy shit, it's 1 in the morning. We gotta get to bed. You gotta go home." So, we were all playing basically Fortnite Guitar Hero for about 30 minutes. Now, Mrs. Cheez-It, I don't know how long she's been playing this game. She almost flawlessed every single song she did. I think the most notes she ever missed was 2. But most of the time, she was like hitting every single one. Now, in this version, you can't die, like you can't get booed off the stage. So you can miss every note and it'll still go through the whole song. And then while we're doing this, while we're playing the game, Mimosa and her other friend, they just start laughing their asses off. Like to the point where they're coughing. So we're playing, we just hear That was not in the script. Hold on, I gotta drink some water. Okay. Well, thank you, Satan, for interjecting your 2 cents into my commentary. Mr. Cheese is like, "What is so funny over there?" And apparently, at some point in the night, they had texted each other, like, "Hey, coming to the party, I'm coming." And I got to see the text messages, and it was more of that romance stuff. And the message said something like, "I'm so excited, I just shit my pants." And basically, they were being... Nah, I'm not going to get into that. It's very dirty. Very, very dirty. Alright, do the fever. Do the fever. I knew it. I knew we were going to do that. I'm sure he'll get it. I knew it. Well, we ain't winning this one. Pumpkin versus a dragon. I wonder who would win. I'm rooting for the pumpkin. Spooky Pumpkin would scare the dragon would fly away and go home. So after that, I'm sitting on the couch and Bella's next to me. I'm not sure when she got there. Maybe I'll try to make amends. So Bella's loafing, and she's got her little paws sticking out of her belly. So she's 99% loaf, but her little toes are sticking out. So I start petting her paw. And again, she turns around and just gives me this real dirty look. She's like, "Dare touch me, human? How dare you?" Then she very slowly, she unloafs, like arches her back, she stretches out, and then just jumps off the couch and walks away. Now, a couple people were the chosen ones. A couple people, like, she would cuddle in their lap. And Mr. Cheetah's like, "Yep, you're the chosen one." Usually I'm pretty good with cats, but Bella was not feeling me. The other two, though, they liked me. So 2 out of 3 ain't bad. It's getting pretty slim pickings. Not too many red pegs left. Wow, I got my butt handed to me. 71,000 to 250,000. Just gonna add insult to injury? Just gonna give me the finger like that? Well, you know what they say. If you don't succeed, try again. And now this one should be good for Spooky Ball because it's enclosed. Now eventually it'll open back up. But there's a lot of places the ball can get stuck. You can hit a whole bunch of pegs. And get a whole bunch of points. So yeah, basically we just kind of hung out and talked for a long time. And eventually like, oh, it's 1 in the morning, we better get going. Now there's one final thing that happened, and this really blew me away. So, midway through the party, Mr. Cheez-It made an announcement. And before anybody jumps to conclusions, no, he's not going to be a dad. At least not yet. So, we got done eating our Dominoes, and he had told me beforehand a couple days ago that he had a surprise for me for Christmas, but I wanted to wait and be surprised. Now, something went wrong, and it hasn't come yet. I'm not sure when it's going to come, but hopefully soon. And it's like, I know you wanted it to be a surprise, but screw it, I'm going to tell you right now. So, it turns out that I won Crew Member of the Year. So at some point, I'm going to be getting a custom hoodie with my name on it. And someone else also won Shift Lead of the Year. So when those come, we're going to take a picture together. I did not think I was that good, but I guess never sell yourself short. That's the lesson here. Well, I can cross that one off the bucket list, Employee of the Year. Needless to say, I felt very accomplished. Like, that was a huge, like, dopamine boost for me. So yeah, all in all, I can say with the utmost confidence that that was the best Christmas party that I've ever attended. 10 out of 10, would come again. Now, before the party, Mr. Cheez-It got into an argument with someone on Christmas Eve, and it was a customer. Now, we have a Burrito Horn app, and there's exclusive items on the app that you can only order online. You can't order them at the restaurant. Now, the app shuts down an hour before closing. Because we close at 7, the app closed at 6, and someone comes at about 6:30 asking for, it's called a 2-for-1 box. And Mr. Cheez-It says, I'm sorry, we don't offer that. It's in the app and it's shut down. And we tried to offer her we tried to offer her other food. Like we're trying to come to some kind of compromise. But she just will not accept that she's not getting her box. Like, she just cannot fathom that a box wouldn't be available. And they get in this little back and forth. She's like, but my box, I want my box. And there's no button on the register for it. There's no way to have the box. And he keeps trying to tell her, like, we just don't have it available. And eventually he's like, okay, I'm not going to argue with you anymore. You know, you can leave, have a good day. And she's like, so I don't get nothing. So I don't get nothing now. And it's like, are you the GM? What's your name? I want your name. And he goes, Jeff. My name's Jeff. Well, he didn't say that, but the meme popped in my head. And we got a complaint the following, well, not the following day was Christmas. We got a complaint the day after Christmas. You know, this manager, Jeff, he misunderstood me. All I wanted was my box, and he got rude. Like, man, you got told that the box wasn't on the table, and you refused to take any other options. You were hell-bent on getting this box. Now, that's one thing that gets me with some customers, is that fever is going to help them out a little bit. The thing that gets me with some customers is when we're out of something or something's not available, and we try to offer you a compromise or a solution, and they don't accept it. And it's like, okay, what do you want me to do here? Like, what do you want me to do? Sorcery up the box for you, like some new ingredients? Now, this would never happen, but I'm just going to use it as a counterexample. The day that I walk into McDonald's and ask for a McChicken, and they tell me, no, I'm sorry, we no longer carry McChickens. You know what my response is going to be? Now, obviously, I'm going to be a little upset, but you know what my response is going to be? Oh, okay, I'll have a burger instead. There's other options. So now, she gets to go to bed hungry on Christmas Eve. That's her own fault. Alright, it's time to get spooky. Oh no, he stole my second spooky. Well, I guess we can each have a power-up. I guess I can be fair. I can be civil. I can be quaint. Ah! Well, great. Now the computer's gonna get the fever. Every single time. Every single time. Alright, you know what? We're gonna stop it right there because this video is getting really long and I don't really want to keep you guys too long. So, we are going to end it. As always, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. New Year's coming up, so happy holidays, everybody. And everybody, just do me a little favor. Have yourselves a great day.